and the police commissioner.
Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Capra. I will be reading Prosper, your tavern host.
Bonsoir.
Hi, I'm Jude Kirshner. I'm going to be reading Francois.
I'm Kitty Chen. I'm going to be reading Leocadi and Alban.
Hello, I'm Warren, and I'm playing Crasset, the Marquis de Lansac, and Balthazar.
Good evening, I'm Henry. I'm Michael playing Henry. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
I am Ken Wayne, and I'm Grain, a vagabond.
I can.
Hi.
Hold on, I gotta choose.
Okay, I'm Mona, and I am reading Lebret and Jewel.
Has everybody introduced themselves at this point, or? I guess so. All right, and then we also have who will be. All righty, so let us then begin. I will stay off screen as I am just reading the stage directions, and I'm not going to read like the internal stage directions within things, but just when they're on separate lines and significant. So, The Green Cockatoo from 1899 by Arthur Schnitzler, translated by Horace Samuel. Scene, the Tavern of the Green Cockatoo. A medium-sized underground room. 7 steps lead down to it on the right, rather far back. The stars are shut off by a door on top. A second door, which is barely visible, is in the background on the left. A number of simple wooden tables with chairs around them fill nearly the whole room. On the left, in the center, is a bar. Behind the bar, a number of barrels with pipes. The room is lighted by small oil lamps which hang from the ceiling. The host, Prosper. Enter the citizens, Lebret and Grasset.
Come in, Lebret. I know the tap. My old friend in chief has always got a cask of wine smuggled away somewhere or another, even when the rest of Paris is perishing of thirst.
Oh, good evening, Grasset. So you show your face again, do you? Away with philosophy. Have you a wish to take an engagement with me again?
The idea. Bring me some wine, rather. I am the guest, you the host.
Why? Where shall I get wine from, Grasset? They've sacked all the wine shops in Paris this very night. And I would leave wager that you had a hand therein.
Out with the wine. The mob who are coming an hour after us are bound. Do you hear anything, Lebret?
It is like slight thunder.
Good. Citizens of Paris, you're sure to have another barrel in reserve for the mob. So out with the wine. My friend and admirer, the citizen Lebret, tailor of the Rue Saint-Honoré, will pay for everything.
Certainly I will pay.
Sure that you have money, Lebret.
Now I will see if... Oh, where do you come from, Grasset? The Palais Royal?
Oh, for sure. I made a speech there. Aye, my good friend, it is my turn now. Do you know whom I spoke after?
Well?
After Camille Desmoulins. Yes, indeed, I dare to do it. And tell me, Lebret, who had the greater applause, Desmoulins or I?
You, without a doubt.
And how did I bear myself?
Splendidly.
Do you hear, Prosper? I placed myself on the table. I looked like a monument. Indeed, I did. And all the thousands, 5,000, 10,000, assembled around me, just as they had done before around Camille Desmoulins, and cheered me.
It was a louder cheer.
Oh, indeed it was. Not much louder, but it was louder. And now they're all moving toward the Bastille. and I make bold to say they have followed my call. Ha ha ha! I swear to you, before this evening is out, we shall have it.
Yes, to be sure, if the walls fall down before your speeches.
What? Speeches? Are you deaf? 'Tis a case of shooting now. Our valiant soldiers are there. They have the same hellish fury against the accursed prison as we have. They know that their brothers and fathers sit in prison behind those walls. But there would have been no shooting if we had not spoken. My dear Prosper, great is the power of intellect. There. Where are the papers?
Here.
Here are the latest pamphlets, which have just been distributed in the Palais Royal. Here is one by my friend Saruti, Memorial for the French People. And here is one by Desmoulins, who certainly speaks better than he writes. Free France.
When's your own pamphlet going to appear? The one you're always talking about, you know.
Oh, we need no more. The time has come for deeds. Anyone who sits within his four walls today is a knave. Every real man must go out into the streets.
Ooh.
Bravo. Bravo.
Oh, in Toulon, they have killed the mayor. In Braguignan, they have sacked a dozen houses. But we in Paris are all sluggards, and we'll put up with anything.
You can scarcely say that now.
Up, you citizens, up.
Up, lock up your shop, and come with us now.
I'll come right enough when the time comes.
Aye, to be sure, when there is no more danger.
My good friend, I love liberty as well as you, but my calling comes before everything.
There is only one calling now for citizens of Paris, freeing their brothers.
Yes, for those who have nothing else to do.
What says he? He makes a game of us.
Oh, never dreamt of it. But now, my friends, I'll let you go away. My performance will begin in a minute, and I can't find you a job in it.
What performance? Is this a theater?
Certainly, 'tis a theater. Why, only a fortnight ago, your friend was playing here.
Were you playing here, Grasset? Why do you let the fellow jeer at you like that without punishing him?
Calm yourself. It is true, I did play here. But this is no ordinary tavern. 'Tis a den of thieves. Come.
You'll pay first.
If this is a den of thieves, I won't pay a single sou.
Explain to your friend here where he is.
Well, this is a strange place. People who play criminals come here, and others who are criminals without suspecting it.
Indeed.
Well, I would have you mark that what I just said was very witty. It is positively capable of making the substance of a whole speech.
I don't understand a word of all you say.
I was simply telling you that Prosper was my manager, and he is still playing comedy with his actors, but a different kind from before. My former gentlemen and lady colleagues sit around and behave as though they were criminals. Do you understand? They tell blood-curdling stories of things that have never happened to them, speak of crimes they have never committed. And the audience that comes here enjoys the pleasant titillation of hobnobbing with the most dangerous rabble in Paris. Swindlers, burglars, murderers, and all kinds.
What kind of audience?
The most elegant people in Paris.
Noble.
Gentlemen of the court.
Down with them.
It does them good. It gives a fillip to their jaded senses. It was here that I made my start, Lebaret. Here that I delivered my first speech as though for a joke. It was that I first began to hate the dogs who sat among us with all their fine clothes and perfumes and rottenness. And I am very glad indeed, my good Lebaret, that you too should see just for once the place from which your great friend raised himself. Say, Prosper, suppose the business doesn't come off.
What business?
Why, my political career. Will you engage me again?
Ha! Not for anything.
I thought there might be still room for somebody besides you, Henri.
Apart from that, I should be afraid that you might forget yourself one fine day and fall foul in earnest of one of my paying customers.
Well, that certainly be possible.
I have control over myself.
Frankly, Prosper, I must say that I would admire you for your self-control if I hadn't happened not to know that you are a poltroon.
Oh, my friend. Oh, I'm satisfied with what I can do in my own line. I get enough pleasure out of being able to tell the fellows my opinion of them to their faces and to insult them to my heart's content. Will they take it for a joke? That too is a way of venting one's wrath.
Citizen Prosper, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, have no fear. I wager that the dagger is not even sharpened.
And that, my friend, you may be making a mistake. One fine day, the jest may turn to earnest, and so I am ready for all emergencies.
The day is nigh. Oh, we live in great times. Come, Citizen Labre, we will go to our comrades. Farewell, Prosper. You will see me either a great man or never again.
As a great man or not at all?
Exeunt. Host remains behind, sits on a table, opens a pamphlet, and reads aloud.
Now that the beast is in the noose, throttle it. He doesn't write badly, that little Desmoulins. Never was richer booty offered to the victors. 40,000 palaces and castles, 2/5 of all the property in France will be the reward of valor. Those who plume themselves on being conquerors will be put beneath the yoke. The nation will be purged.
Enter the commissar.
Hello? The rabble's beginning to come in pretty early tonight, eh?
My dear Prosper, I didn't start any of your jokes on me. I am the commissioner of your district.
And how can I be of service?
I have orders to be present at your tavern all the evening.
It will be an especial honor for me.
'Tis nothing of that. My excellent Prosper, the authorities wish to have definite information to the recently goes on in your place for some weeks.
This is a place of amusement, Monsieur le Commissaire, nothing more.
Let me finish what I was saying. For some weeks past, this place is said to have been the theater for wild orgies.
You are vastly misinformed. You are vastly informed, Monsieur le Commissaire. We make jokes here and nothing more.
It begins with that, I know, but is finished up in another way, so I am informed. You have been an actor?
Manager, sir. Manager of first-class troupe, La Spade and Denise.
That is immaterial. When you came close to a small legacy.
Not worth speaking of, Monsieur le Commissaire.
And your troupe split up.
And my legacy as well.
Quite good. You started a tavern.
That fared wretchedly.
After which you had an idea that one must really possesses a certain quantum of originality.
Oh, you make me quite proud, sir.
You gather your troupe together and have comedy played there which of a peculiar and by no means harmless character.
If it were harmful, Monsieur le Commissaire, I should not have my audience. The most aristocratic audience in Paris, I'm in a position to say. The Vicomte de Nogent is my daily customer. The Marquis de Lansac often comes, and the Duc de Carignan. Monsieur le Commissaire, he is the most enthusiastic admirer of my leading actor, the celebrated Henri Bastille.
As well as the art or arts of your actresses.
When you get to know my little actresses, Monsieur le Commissaire, you won't blame anybody in the whole world for that.
Enough. The authorities have been informed that the entertainment which you, what shall I say?
The word artist ought to suffice.
I will decide the word. Subjects, yes. That the entertainment which you subjects provide transgress every sense of the limits of the law allow. Speeches are said to be delivered by your, what shall I say, your artist criminals, and which, what does Information say? I know. Which are calculated to produce not only an immoral effect, but which bother but little, but a highly seditious effect. Matter to which the authorities absolutely cannot be different in an age so agitated as one in which we live.
Monsieur le Commissaire, I can only answer that accusation by politely inviting you to see the thing just once for yourself. You will observe that nothing of a seditious nature takes place, if only because my audience will not permit itself to be made seditious. This is simply a theatrical performance, that's all.
Well, I certainly cannot accept your invitation, but I will say here by virtue of my office.
I think I can promise you first-class entertainment, Monsieur le Commissaire, but I will take the liberty of advising you to doff your official garb and to appear here in civilian clothes. If people actually saw a commissaire in uniform here, both the spontaneity of my artists and the mood of my audience would suffer thereby.
Vous avez raison, Monsieur Pell. I will go away and come back as an elegant young man.
I will have no difficulty about that, Monsieur le Commissaire. You would be welcomed here even as a vagabond. That would not excite attention, but not as a commissaire.
Au revoir.
Oh, will the blessed day come when I can treat you and your damned likes?
The commissaire meets Grain in the doorway. Grain is in absolute rags and gives a start when he sees the commissaire. The latter looks at him first, smiles, and then turns courteously to the host.
One of your artists already has arrived.
Good evening.
If you're one of my troupe, I won't grudge you my recognition of your art, because I don't recognize you.
What do you mean?
No jest now, take off your wig. I'd rather like to know who you are.
Oh dear.
But 'tis heavens, who are you? You appear to be a real ragamuffin.
I am.
What do you want of me?
Have I the honor of speaking to Citizen Prosper, the host of the Green Cockatoo?
I am he.
My name is Grain, sometimes Carniche, very often Shrieking Pumice Stone, but I was sent to prison, Citizen Prosper, under the name of Grain, and that is the real point.
Oh, I understand. You want to play in my establishment and start off with playing me. Good. Go on.
Citizen Prosper, don't look upon me as a swindler. I am a man of honor. If I tell you that I was imprisoned, 'tis the complete truth. Here, Citizen Prosper, you can see from this that I was let out yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
After 2 years imprisonment. Sounds just genuine.
Were you all the time doubting it then, Citizen Prosper?
What did you do to get 2 years?
I would have been hanged, but I was lucky enough to be still half a child when I killed my poor aunt.
Nay, fellow, how can a man kill his own aunt?
Citizen Prosper, I would never have done it if my aunt had not deceived me with my best friend.
Your aunt?
That's it. She was dearer to me than aunts usually are to their nephews. The family relations were peculiar. It made me embittered, most embittered. May I tell you about it?
Oh, go on telling. Perhaps you and I will be able to do business together.
My sister was but half a child when she ran away from home, and whom do you think she went with?
It's difficult to guess.
With her uncle. And he left her in the lurch with a child.
A whole one, I hope.
It is indelicate of you, Citizen Prosper, to jest about such things.
I'll tell you what, Shrieking Pumice Stone, you and your family history bores me. Do you think I'm here to listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry or a ragamuffin telling me whom he's killed? What's that all got to do with me? I take it you wish something of me.
Yea, truly, Citizen Prosper, I've come to ask you for work.
I would have you mark that there are no aunts to murder in my place. This is a house of entertainment.
Oh, I found the ones quite enough. I want to become a respectable member of society. I was recommended to come to you.
By whom, may I ask?
A charming young man whom they put in my cell 3 days ago. Now he's alone. His name's Gaston, and you know him.
Gaston? No, I know why I've missed him for 3 evenings. He was one of my best interpreters of pickpockets. He told yarns. Oh, he made him split their sides.
Quite so. And now they've nabbed him.
Nabbed? What do you mean? He didn't really steal, I suppose.
Yes, he did. But it must have been the first time, for he seems to have gone about it with incredible clumsiness. Just think of it. Just made a grab at the pocket of a lady in the Boulevard des Capucins and pulled out her purse. An absolute amateur. You inspire me with confidence, Citizen Prosper, and so I'll make a confession to you. There was a time when I, too, transacted little bits of business of that sort. But never without my dear father. When I was still a child, when we all lived together, when my poor aunt was still alive.
What are you moaning for? I think it's in bad taste. You ought not to have killed her.
Too late. But the point I was coming to is, take me on here. I will do just the opposite of Gaston. He played the thief and became one.
We'll give you a trial. We'll produce a fine effect with your makeup. And at a given moment, you'll just describe the aunt matter, how it all happened. Someone or other will be sure to ask you.
I thank you, Citizen Prosper. And with regard to my wages...
Tonight you will play on trial. And I am therefore not yet in a position to pay you wages, but you will get good stuff to eat and drink. And I shall not mind a franc or so for a night's lodging.
I thank you. And just introduce me to your other colleagues as a visitor from the provinces.
Oh, no. We will tell them right away that you were a real murderer. They will much prefer that.
No, pardon me, I don't wish to do anything against my interests, but I don't see why...
When you have been on the boards a bit longer, you will understand.
And Jules. Good evening, Chief.
How many times I gotta tell you that the whole joke falls flat if you call me Chief?
Well, whatever you are, I don't think we shall play tonight.
And why?
The people won't be in the mood. There's a hellish uproar in the streets, and in front of the Bastille especially, they are yelling like men possessed.
What matters that to us? The shouting has been going on for months, and our audience hasn't stayed away from us. It goes on diverting itself just as it did before.
Aye, it has the gaiety of people who are shortly going to be hanged.
If only I could live to see it.
In the meanwhile, give us something to drink to get me into the vein. I don't feel at all in the vein tonight.
Oh, that's often the case with you, my friend. I must tell you that I was most dissatisfied with you last night.
Why so, if I may ask?
That story about the burglary was simply babyish.
Babyish.
To be sure. Absolutely incredible. Mere roaring is of no avail.
I didn't roar.
You are always roaring. It will be really necessary for me to rehearse things with you. One can never rely on your inspirations. Henri's the only one.
Henri, never anything but Henri. Henri simply plays to the gallery. My burglary of last night was a masterpiece. Henri will never do anything as good as that as long as he lives. If I don't satisfy you, my friend, then I'll go to a proper theater. Anyway, yours is nothing but a cheapjack establishment. Hello. Who is this? He isn't one of our lot, is he? Perhaps you've just engaged someone, but what makeup the fellow has.
Calm yourself. He's not a professional actor. He's a real murderer.
Oh, indeed. Oh, very glad to know you. My name is Scaevola.
My name is Grain.
Jules has been walking around in the room the whole time. Ken, your video isn't on. Please try and turn it on. Jules has been walking around, frequently standing still like a man tortured inwardly.
What ails you, Jules?
I'm learning my part.
What?
Tonight, I'm playing a man who is prey to remorse. Look at me. What do you think of the furrow in the forehead here? Do I not look as though all the furies of hell?
Wine here.
Calm yourself. There's no audience yet.
Enter Henri and Leocadie.
Good evening. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Henri. What do I see? You and Lecordier together?
Why, I know her.
Leocadie, Kitty?
Yes, yes, my dear Prosper, it is I.
I have not seen you for a year on end. Let me greet you.
Stop that.
But Henri, as between old comrades, your old chief, Lecordier.
Oh, the good old times. Prosper.
What are you sighing about? When a wench has made her way in the way you have when a wench has made her way in the way you have, no doubt about it, a pretty young woman always has a much easier time of it than we have.
Stop that.
Why the deuce do you keep on shouting and be like that? Because you picked up with her once more?
Hold your tongue. She became my wife yesterday.
Is he joking?
He has really married me, yes.
Then I congratulate you. I say, Scaevola, Jules, Henri is married.
I wish you joy.
How strange. I saw that woman a few minutes after I was let out.
What do you mean?
She was the first pretty woman I'd seen for 2 years. I was very moved. But it was another gentleman with whom
Leocadie, my love, my wife. All the past is over now. A great deal is blotted out on an occasion like this.
What sort of occasion?
We are united now by a holy sacrament. That means more than any human oath. God is now watching over us, and one ought to forget everything which has happened before. Leocadie, a new age is dawning. Everything becomes holy now. Our kisses, however wild they may be, are holy from henceforth. Leocadie, however wild they may be, my love, my wife. I love. Somebody's giving feedback. Isn't her expression quite different? Prosper, from what you have ever known her before, is not her forehead pure? What has been is blotted out. Not so, Leocadie.
Surely, Henri.
And all is well. We leave Paris tomorrow. Leocadie makes her last appearance tonight at the Port Saint Martin, and I am placing here tonight for the last time.
Are you mad, Henri? Do you want to desert me? Besides, the manager of the Porte Saint-Martin will never think of letting Lecordier go away. Why, she makes a fortune for his house. The young gentlemen stream thither, so they say.
Hold your peace. Leocadie will go with me. She will never desert me. Tell me that you will never desert me, Leocadie. Tell me.
I will never desert you.
If you did, I would. I am sick of this life. I want quiet. I wish to have quiet.
But what do you want to do then, Henri? It's quite ridiculous. I'll make you a proposition. So far as I am concerned, take Leocadie from the Port Saint-Martin, but let her stay here with me. I will engage her. Anyway, I have rather a dearth of talented women characters.
My mind is made up, Prosper. We are leaving town. We are going into the country.
Into the country, but where?
To my old father, who lives alone in our poor village. I haven't seen him for 7 years. He has almost given up hope of ever seeing his lost son again. He will welcome me with joy.
What will you do in the country? In the country, they all starve. People are 1,000 times worse off there than in town. What on earth will you do there? You are not the man to till the fields. Don't imagine.
Time will prove that I am the man to do even that.
Soon there won't be any corn growing in any part of France. You're going to certain misery.
To happiness, Prosper. Not so, Leocadi. We've often dreamed of it. I yearn for the peace of the wide plains. Yes, Prosper, I have seen myself in my dreams going over the fields with her in an infinite stillness with the wonderful placid heavens over us. We will flee from this awful and dangerous town. The great peace will come over us. Is it not true, Leocadi, that we have often had such dreams?
Yes, we have often had such dreams.
Look here, Henri, you should consider it. I will gladly raise your wages, and I'll give Leocadi quite as much as you.
Hear you that, Henri?
I really don't know who's to take your place here. Not a single one of my people has such precious inspirations as you have. Not one of them is so popular with my audience as you. Oh, don't go away.
I can quite believe that no one will take my place.
And by me, Henri.
And I can promise you that they will take my departure to heart. They, not I, for tonight, for my final appearance. I have reserved something that will make them all shudder. A foreboding of the end of this world will come over them. For the end of their world is nigh. But I shall only experience it from a safe distance. They will tell us all about it out there, Leocadi, many days after it has happened. But I tell you, they will shudder. And you yourself will say, Andre has played, never played so well.
You're going to play. What? Do you know what, Leocadi?
I never know anything.
But has anyone any idea of what an artist lies hidden within me?
They certainly have an idea, and that's why I tell you that a man with a talent such as yours doesn't go and bury himself in the country. What an injustice to yourself and to your art.
I don't care a straw about art. I wish for quiet. You don't understand that, Prosper. You have never loved as I love. I want to be alone with her. That's the only way. That's the only way, Leocadi, of forgetting everything. But then we shall be happier than human beings have ever been before. I lost my place. We shall be happier than human beings have ever been before. We shall have children, and you will be a good mother, Leocadi, and a true wife. All the past will be blotted out.
Getting late, Henri. I must go to the theater. Farewell, Prosper. I'm glad at last to have seen your famous den, the place where Henri scores such triumphs.
But why did you never come?
Henri would not let me, because I should have to sit next to the young men, you know.
Give me a drink, Scavola.
Henri is an arrant fool. If you had only sat next to them.
Now then, no remarks of that sort.
Oh, take my tip and be careful, you silly gutter brat. He'll kill you one of these days.
What's up then?
You were only seen yesterday with one of your fellows.
That was not a fellow, you blockhead. That was...
What's the matter with you? Nope.
What's the matter with you? No jokes, if you don't mind. No more whispering, no more secrets now. She is my wife.
What did you give her for a wedding present?
Heavens! He never thinks about such things.
Well, you shall have one this very night.
What?
What are you going to give her?
When you have finished your scene, you must come here and see me act. No woman ever had a more glorious wedding present. Come, Liakari. Goodbye for the present, Prosper. I shall soon be back again.
Exeunt Henry and Leocadie. Enter together Francois Vicomte de Nogent and Albin Chevalier de la Tremouille.
What a contemptible braggart.
Good evening, you swine.
Was not that the little Leocadie of the Porte Saint-Martin who went away with Henri?
Of course it was. If she really took great trouble, she could eventually make you remember that even you are something of a man, eh?
That is not impossible. It seems we are rather early tonight.
In the meantime, you can amuse yourselves with your minion.
Let it pass. I told you what went on here. Bring us wine.
Aye, that I will. The time will soon come when you will be very satisfied with sane water.
Quite so, quite so. But tonight I would fain ask for wine, and the best wine into the bargain.
Host goes to the bar.
That is really a dreadful fellow.
Just think, it's all a joke. And withal, there are places where you can hear similar things in real earnest.
Is it not forbidden?
One sees that you come from the provinces.
We too are having a bad time of it nowadays. The peasants are getting so insolent, one doesn't know what to do anymore.
Well, what would you have? The poor devils are hungry. That is the secret.
How can I help it? How can my great uncle help it?
Why do you mention your great uncle?
Well, I do so because he actually held a meeting in our village, quite openly. And at the meeting, they actually called my great uncle the Comte de Tremouille, a corn usurer.
Is that all?
Nay, is that not enough?
Oh, we will go to the Palais Royal tomorrow, and there you have a chance of hearing the monstrous speeches the fellows made. But we shall let them speak. It is the best thing to do. They are good people at bottom. One must let them bawl themselves out in that way.
What suspicious characters those are. Just see how they look at me. Ugh.
Don't be ridiculous. You need not begin yet. Wait till there is more audience. They're the most respectable people in the world. Actors are. I will warn you. You have already sat at table with worse knaves.
But they were better attired.
Enter Michette and Flippo.
God be with you, children. Come, sit down with us.
Here we are. Come along, Flippo. She is still somewhat shy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening, young gentlemen.
The little one is a dear.
But, Francois, please explain, are these respectable ladies?
What does he say?
It's not quite the word for the ladies who come here. It's life. You are silly, Albin.
What shall I bring for their graces?
Bring me a very sweet wine.
Friend of yours?
We live together. Yes, we have only one bed between us.
Would you find it a very great nuisance should you come and see her?
She is not at all shy.
At last I've found you. And you miserable seducer, aren't you ashamed that she is mine?
Oh, a joke, a joke.
He isn't his.
Wait, you leave me. Let me sit where I want to.
No, 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 no.
Ha! Ha!
Ah, you've not a farthing's worth of talent. Roaring, that's the only thing you can do.
Recently, he did much better.
I'm not in the vein. I'll make a better show later on when more people are here, you see. Prosper, I need an audience.
Enter the Duke de Cadian.
Already in full swing?
Ah, my sweet Duke.
Oh, good evening, Emile. My young friend, Albin, Chevalier de Tremouille, le Duc de Catignan.
I am delighted to make your acquaintance. Oh, leave me alone, children. So you two are having a look at this droll tavern.
It bewilders me in the extreme.
The Chevalier has only been in Paris a few days.
Oh, then you have certainly chosen a nice time.
How so?
He still has that delicious perfume. There isn't another man in Paris who has such a pleasant smell. You can't perceive it like that.
Oh, she speaks of the 700 or 800 whom she knows as well as me.
Will you let me play with your sword, dear?
She draws his sword out of his sheath and flashes it about.
He's the man. 'Twas him I saw her with.
Henri is not here yet. No, if you see him, you will not regret having come here.
Oh, so you're here again, are you? I'm glad. We shall not have the pleasure much longer.
Why, I found it very nice at your place.
I believe that. But since, in any case, you will be one of the first,
Oh,
What does that mean?
you understand me well enough. The favorites of fortune will be the first.
if I were king, I would make him my court fool. I mean to say I should have many court fools, but he would be one of them.
What did he mean by saying that you were too fortunate?
He means, Chevalier.
Please, please, don't call me Chevalier. Everybody calls me Alban. Simply Alban, just because I look so young.
Oh, good, but you must call me Emile. Eh?
With pleasure, if you allow it, Emile.
They have a sinister wit, have these people.
Why sinister? I find it quite reassuring. As long as the mob is in the mood for jests, it will never come to anything serious.
The jests are much too strange. I learned a thing today that gives food for thought.
Tell us.
Do you know,
Tell us, sweet Duke.
do you know Lelang? Do you know Lelange? Francois, do you know Lelange?
The village, the Marquis de Montferrat, is one of his finest hunts there.
Quite right. My brother is now at the castle with him, and he has written home about the things I am going to tell you. They have a mayor at Lelange who is very unpopular.
Oh, if you can tell me the name of one who is popular.
Just listen. The women of the village paraded in front of the mayor's house with a coffin.
What? Did they carry it? Carry a coffin? I wouldn't like to carry a coffin for anything in the world.
Hold your tongue. No one's asking you to carry a coffin. Well?
And one or two of the women went into the mayor's house and explained to him that he must die. They would do him the honor of burying him.
Have they killed him?
No, at least my brother doesn't write anything about it yet.
Well then, blusterers, talkers, clowns, that's what they are. Today they're roaring in Paris at the Bastille for a change, just as they've already done half a dozen times before.
Well, if I were king, I should have made an end of it long ago.
Is it true that the king is so good-natured?
You have not yet been presented to His Majesty.
This is the first time the Chevalier has been in Paris.
Ah, yes, you are incredibly young. How old, if I may ask?
I only look so young. I'm already 17.
Oh, 17. How much is still in front of you already? For I am already, well, I am beginning to regret how much of my youth I have missed.
That is good. You, Duke, you count every day lost in which you have not conquered a woman or killed a man.
Only the unfortunate thing is that one never makes a conquest of the right woman and always kills the wrong man. And that, as a matter of fact, is how one misses one's youth. Do you know what Roland says?
What does Roland say?
I was thinking of his new piece that they are playing at the Comedy. There is such a pretty simile in it. Don't you remember?
I have no memory for verses.
Nor have I, unfortunately. I only remember the sense. He says, youth, which a man does not enjoy, is like a feather ball, which you leave lying in the sand instead of throwing it into the air.
I think that is quite right. Yeah.
Is it not true? The feathers gradually lose their color and fall out. It is better for it to fall into a bush where it cannot be found.
How should one understand that, Emile?
It is more a matter of feeling than of understanding. If I could repeat the verses, you would understand it at once.
I have an idea, Emile, that you too could make verses if you wished.
Why?
Since you have been here, it seems to me as though life were flaming up.
Is life flaming up?
Won't you come and sit with us after all?
Meanwhile, two nobles come in and sit down at a distant table. Post appears to be addressing insults to them.
I cannot stay here, but in case I will come back again.
Stay with me.
Take me with you.
Just you leave him alone. You're not bad enough for him by a long way. He's got to run after a whore in the streets. That's where he feels most in his element.
I shall certainly come back, if only not to Miss Henri.
What do you think? When we came, Henri was just going out with Leocadie.
Really? He has married her. Did you know that?
Is that so? What will the others have to say to it?
What others?
Oh, she is loved all around, you know.
He wants to go away with her. What do I know about it? Somebody told me.
Indeed. Did they tell you?
It is too silly. Leocadie was made to be the greatest and most splendid whore in the world.
Who doesn't know that?
Can anything be more unreasonable than to take people away from their true calling? I was not joking. Whores are born, not made, just as conquerors and poets are.
Oh, you are paradoxical.
I am sorry for her and for Henri. He should stay here. No, not here. I should like to bring him to the comedy, though even there I always feel as though nobody understood him as well as I do. Of course, that may be an illusion, since I have the same feeling in regard to most artists. But I must say, if I were not the Duc de Cadian, I should really like to be a comedian like him. Like him, I say.
Like Alexander the Great.
Oh, yes, Alexander the Great. Give me my sword. It's the finest way of making fun in the world. A man who can play any part and at the same time play us is greater than all of us. Don't you reflect on what I say. It is only true at the actual moment. Goodbye.
Give me a kiss before you go.
Me too.
They hang on to him. The Duke kisses them both at once and goes. In the meanwhile...
Ah, a wonderful man.
That is quite true. But the existence of men like that is almost a reason for not marrying.
Oh, but do explain. What are those girls?
Actresses. They too belong to the troupe of Prosper, who is at present the host of the tavern. No doubt they've done in the past much the same as they're doing now.
Guillaume rushes in, apparently breathless. Saved! Hi! Saved!
What is it? What ails you?
What has happened to the man?
That is part of the acting now, mark you.
Ah.
Oh, what is it? What ails you?
Sit down. Take a draught.
More, Prosper, more wine. I've been running. My tongue cleaves to my mouth. They were right at my heels.
Ah, be careful. They really are at our heels.
Come, tell us, what happened then? Movement, more movement.
Women here, women. That brings one back to life again. The devil take me, my boy, if I thought I would ever see you alive again. They come. No, it is nothing. They.
How strange. There really is a noise as though people outside were pressing forward very quickly. Is that part of the stage effects as well?
And for such damn subtleties every blessed time. It's too silly.
Now tell us, why are they at your heels again?
Oh, nothing special, but if they got me, it would cost me my head. I've set fire to a house. During this scene, young nobles come in and sit down at the tables.
Go on, go on.
What more do you want? Isn't that enough for you if I've set fire to a house?
Tell me, my friend, why you set fire to a house?
Because the president of the Supreme Court lived in it. We wanted to make a beginning with him. We wanted to keep the good Parisian householders from taking folk into their houses so lightly who send us poor devils to prison.
That's good. That's good.
All the houses must be fired. 3 more fellows like me, and there won't be any judges in Paris.
Yes, two judges.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
There may be one whom we can annihilate.
I should like to know who he is.
The judge within us.
That's tasteless. Leave off, Scabola. Roar. Now's the time.
Wine here, Prosper. We want to drink to the death of all the judges in France.
During the last words, enter the Marquis de Lansect with his wife, Séverine, and Roland the poet.
Death to all who have the power in their hands today.
Where's the Marquis?
The Marquis, see you. See you, Séverine. That is how they greet us.
Marquis, I warned you.
Séverine, which is Mary Lou, the wife. Are you there?
Thank you. Bye.
Whom do I see? The Marquise. Allow me to kiss your hand. Good evening, Marquis. Well met to you, Roland. And you, Marquise, who dare to venture into this place?
I've heard such a lot about it. And besides, we are having a day of adventures already. N'est-ce pas?
Yes, think of it, Vicomte. You would never believe where we come from. The Bastille. Actually, Warren, you should be reading this part.
Are you?
Indeed.
Are they still keeping up the tumult there? Séverine?
Indeed. It looks as though they meant to storm it.
Like to a flood that seethes against its banks and ridges deep, that its own child, the earth, resists it.
Oh, don't, Roland. We left our carriage there, and it's in that neighborhood. Oh, it is magnificent, spectacular. There is always something so grand about crowds.
Yes, yes. If only they did not smell so vilely.
Warren, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Well, what is there so very special here?
Okay. And my wife would not leave me in peace. I had to bring her there. Okay.
Well, so you're here, are you? You dried up old scoundrel. Did you bring your wife along because he wasn't safe enough for you at home?
He's quite a character.
But take that she is not snatched away from under your nose in this very place. Aristocratic ladies like her often get a deuce of a fancy to try what a real rogue is like.
I speak, suffer unspeakably, Séverine.
My child, I prepared you for this It's a high time that we went.
What ails you? I think it's charming. Nay, let us seat ourselves.
Oh, would you allow me, Marquise, to present you to the Chevalier de la Tremouille? He is here for the first time, too. The Marquis de Lansac, Roland, our celebrated poet.
Oh, delighted, delighted. Thank you. Is that one of those that are playing, or I can't make it out?
Oh, don't be so stupid. That is the lawful wife of the Marquis de Lansac, a lady of extreme propriety.
Say that thou lovest me.
Oh, yes, yes, but ask me not every minute.
Have we missed a scene already?
Nothing much. An incendiary's playing over there, 'twould appear.
Chevalier, you must be the cousin of the little Lydia de Tourmel who was married today.
Quite so, Marquise. That was one of the reasons why I came to Paris.
I remember having seen you in the church.
Oh, I am highly flattered, Marquise.
What a dear little boy.
My dear Severine, you have never yet managed to know a man without his pleasing you.
Indeed, I did. What is more, I married him straight away.
I am always so afraid, Severine. I'm sure there are moments when it's not safe for you to be with your own husband.
There you are. I wish it were poison. Yet for the time being, the law won't let us serve it to you, you scum.
Ah, the time will come soon, Prosper.
What is the matter with both you girls? Why don't they come nearer? Now that we are once here, I want to join in everything. I really think that everything is extremely immoral here.
Have patience, Severine.
I think nowadays one diverts oneself best in the streets. Do you know what happened to us yesterday when we went for a drive in the Promenade de la Chaume?
Oh, please, please, my dear Severine.
Stella jumped onto the footboard of a carriage and shouted, "Next year you will stand behind your coachman, and we shall be sitting in the carriage house."
That is rather strong.
Odds life. I don't think one ought to talk of such things. Paris is now somewhat feverish, but that will soon pass off.
I see flames, flames everywhere I look. Red, high flames.
You're playing a madman, not a criminal.
But does he say flames?
But all this is still not the real thing, Marquise.
I cannot tell you how bewildered I feel already with everything.
I have not greeted you, you darling, you dear old pig.
She jests, dear Severine.
Does not look that way. Tell me, little one, how many love affairs have you had so far?
It is really wonderful how well my wife, the Marquise, knows how to adapt herself to every situation.
Yes, it is wonderful.
Have you counted yours?
When I was still as young as you, of course.
Tell me, Monsieur Roland, is the Marquise joking, or is she really like, I positively can't make it out.
Reality, playing. Do you know the difference so exactly, Chevalier?
Well, at any rate,
I don't. And what I find so peculiar here is that all apparent distinctions, so to speak, are taken away. Reality passes into play, play into reality. Just look now at the Marquise, how she gossips with those creatures as though she were one of them. At the same time, she is.
Something quite different.
I thank you, Chevalier.
Grain. Well, how did it all happen?
Grain?
What?
Why, the affair with your aunt, for which you went to prison for 2 years.
I told you I strangled her.
That is feeble. He's an amateur. I have never seen him before.
Mary,
Good evening, children. My Balthazar, is he here yet?
Georgette, sit by me. Your Balthasar will yet be here in time.
If he is not here in 10 minutes, he won't bring off anything again. He won't come back at all then.
Watch her, Marquise. She is the wife of that Balthasar of whom she's just been speaking, and who will soon come in. She represents just a common street jade, while Balthasar is her bully. All the same, she's the truest wife to be found in the whole of Paris.
Balthazar comes in.
Oh, my Balthazar! Oh, so there you are.
It is all in order. It was not worth the trouble. I was almost sorry for him. You should size up your customers better, Georgette. I'm sick of killing promising youths for the sake of a few francs.
Splendid!
What?
He brings out the points so well.
Enter the commissaire. Disguise sits down at the table.
You come at a good time, Monsieur le Commissaire. This is one of my best exponents.
One should really try and find another profession. On my soul, I am not a craven, but this kind of bread is hard-earned.
I can well believe so.
What's one's matter with you today?
I'll tell you what,
What is it
Georgette.
today?
I think you're a trifle too tender with a young gentleman.
I'll see what a child he is. But he is reasonable, Balthazar. I must needs be very tender to so inspire them with confidence.
What she says is really deep.
If I thought for a moment that you felt anything one another, well,
What do you say to that? Dumb jealousy will yet bring you to your grave.
I have already heard one sigh, Georgette, and that was at a moment when one of them was already giving sufficient proofs of his confidence.
One can't leave off playing a woman in love so suddenly.
Be careful, Georgette. The sin is deep. Should you ever deceive me?
Oh, no.
I positively can't make it out.
Roland, that is the right interpretation.
You think so?
It's time we were going, Séverine.
Why, I am beginning to enjoy it.
Georgette.
Georgette.
My Balthazar, I adore you.
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
What loony is that?
This is unquestionably too strong. This is
Enter Maurice and Etienne. They're dressed like young nobles, but one can see they are only disguised in dilapidated theatrical costumes. Who are they?
May the devil take me if it ain't Maurice and Etienne.
Of course it is they.
Georgette!
Heaven, what monstrously pretty young persons.
It is painful, Séverine, to see you so violently excited by every pretty face.
What did I come here for then?
Tell me at any rate that you love me.
Oh, you have a short memory.
Well, where do you think we have come from? Listen, Marquis, there are a couple of quite witty youths.
A wedding.
One has got to dress up a bit in places like this. Otherwise, one of those damn secret police gets on one's track at once.
At any rate, have you made a good haul?
Let's take a look.
What do you give me for this?
For that there? A louis.
Indeed.
It is not worth more.
That is a lady's watch. Give it to me, Maurice. What will you give me for it? Look at me. Isn't that enough?
No, give it to me. Look at me.
My dear children, I can have that without risking my head. You are a conceited ape.
I swear that's no acting.
Of course not. There's a flash of reality running through the whole thing. That is the chief charm. What wedding was it then?
The wedding of Mademoiselle de la Tremouille. She was married to the Comte de Banville.
Do you hear that, Francoise? I assure you they are real knaves.
Calm yourself, Alban. I know the two. I have seen them play a dozen times already. Their specialty is the portrayal of pickpockets.
Maurice draws some purses out of his waistcoat.
Well, you can do the handsome tonight.
It was a very magnificent wedding. All the nobility of France was there. Even the king was represented.
Oh, that is true.
That is for you, my friend, so that you can see we all stick to one another.
Properties, dear Alban. You see, we too come in for a share.
You take it. You've never earned anything so honestly in your life.
And to whom shall I give this? Patience, you sweet pusses. We will speak about that later on. I will give it to the one who devises a new caress.
Would you not like to let me join in the competition?
Yes, you will drive me mad, Severine.
Severine, had we not better be going now? I think...
Oh, no, I am really enjoying myself excellently. Oh, well, my mood is getting so...
How did you get hold of the garter?
There is such a crush in the church, and when a lady thinks one is courting her... Rain has stolen Francois' purse.
Mere counters. Are you satisfied now?
Give me that purse at once, which you took from this gentleman.
Nay,
Straight away, or it'll be the worse for you.
you need not be fearless.
And stay here. I have no time to search you now. Who knows what else you have pouched? Go back to your place.
I shall win the garter.
Oh, here's your purse. You lost it out of your pocket.
Prosper, you see, we're in the company, in reality, in the company of most respectable people.
Henri, who has already been present for some time and has sat behind, suddenly stands up.
Henri, there is Henri.
There is Henri.
Henri, what ails you?
Observe the look. A world of passion. You see, he's playing the man who commits a crime of passion.
Oh, I prize that highly.
But why does he not speak?
He is beside himself. Just watch. Pay attention. He has wrought a fearful deed somewhere.
Somewhat theatrical. It looks as though he were going to get ready for a monologue.
Host? Where's our host?
Henri, Henri, Henri. Oh, gosh, where do you come from?
I have murdered.
What did I say? Whom?
The lover of my wife.
Prosper looks at him. At the moment, he obviously has the feeling that it might be true.
Oh, yes. I've done it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's how the matter stands. Is it then so wonderful after all? You all know what kind of a creature my wife is. It was bound to end like that.
And she, Where is she?
See, the host takes it seriously. You notice how realistic that makes the thing.
Oh, he's outside, not too loud.
You hear it settling?
It sounds as though troops were marching by.
Oh no, it is our dear people of Paris. Just listen to how they bawl. Go on, Henri, go on.
Yes, yes. Do tell us, Henri. Where is your wife? Where have you left her?
Oh, I have no qualms about her. She will not die of it. Whether it is this man or that man, what do the women care? There's still 1,000 other handsome men running about Paris, whether it is this man or that man.
May it fare thus with all who take our wives from us.
All who take from us what belongs to us.
These are seditious speeches.
It is dreadful. The people mean it seriously.
Down with the usurers of France. We would fain wager that the fellow whom he caught with his wife was another again of those accursed hounds who rob us of our bread as well.
I propose we go.
Henri,
But, Marquise,
please, dear Marquise, ask the man how he caught his wife, or I will ask him myself.
tell us, Henri, how did you manage to catch the pair?
Know you my wife, then? She is the fairest and vilest creature under the sun. And I loved her. We have known one another for 7 years, but it is only yesterday that she became my wife. In those 7 years, there was not one day, nay, not one day in which she did not lie to me, for everything about her is a lie. Her eyes and her lips, her kisses and her smiles.
You rants a little.
Every boy and every old man, everyone who excited her, and everyone who paid her, everyone, I think, who wanted her, has possessed her, and I have known it.
Oh, not everyone can boast as well.
And all the same, she loved me, my friends. Can any one of you understand that? She always came back to me again, from all quarters, back again to me, from the handsome and from the ugly, from the shrewd, from the foolish, from the ragamuffins and from the courtiers, always came back to me.
Now, if you only had an inkling that this coming back is what is really love.
Oh, what I suffered. Tortures, tortures.
It is harrowing.
And yesterday, I married her. We had a dream. Nay, I had a dream. I wanted to get away with her from here, into solitude, into the country, into the great peace. We wished to live like other happy married couples. We dreamed also of having a child.
Severine.
Very good.
Francois, that man is speaking the truth.
Quite so. The love story is true, but the real pith is the murder story.
I was just one day too late. There was just one man whom she had forgotten. Otherwise, I believe she wouldn't have wanted anyone else. But I caught them together. It is all over with him.
Ooh,
Oh,
How did it happen?
where does he lie?
are you pursued?
How did it happen? Where is she?
I escorted her to the theater. Today was to be the last time. I kissed her at the door, and she went into her dressing room. And I went off like a man who has nothing to fear. But when I got 100 yards, I began to have within me, do you understand, a terrible unrest. And it was as though something forced me to turn around. And I turned around and went back. But once there, I felt ashamed and went away again. And again, I walked 100 yards away from the theater. And then something gripped me again. I went back. The scene was at an end. She hasn't got much to do. She just stands a while on the stage, half naked. And then she was finished. I stood in front of her dressing room door, put my ear to the door, and I heard whispers. I could not make out a word. The whispering ceased. I opened the door. It was the Duke de Carignan, and I murdered him!
Madman!
Bravo! Bravo!
What are you doing, Marquise? The moment you call out bravo, you make it all acting again, and the pleasant shudder is past.
I do not find the shudder so pleasant. Let us applaud, my friends. That is the only way we can throw off the spell.
A gentle bravo.
Bravo!
Bravo! Bravo!
Applaud.
Hey, save yourself, save yourself. Flee, Henri.
What? What?
Let this be enough and see that you get away.
Hush, let us hear what the host says.
I am telling him that he ought to get away before the watch at the city gates are informed. The handsome Duke was a favorite of the king. They'll break you on the wheel. Far better had it been you had stabbed that scum, your wife.
Playing up to each other, splendid!
Prosper? Which of us is mad, you or I?
It is wonderful. We all know that he's acting, and yet, if the Duc de Carignan were to enter now, it would be like a ghost appearing.
Noise outside growing stronger and stronger. People come in, shrieks are heard. Right at their head, Grasset, others among them, Lebray, force their way over the steps. Cries of liberty, liberty are heard.
Here we are, my boys. In here!
What is that? Is that part of the performance or?
No.
What means it?
Oh, what has happened?
In here! I tell you, my friend Prosper has still got a barrel of wine left, and we have earned it. Friend, brother, we have them. We have them.
Liberty, liberty.
What has happened?
Oh, let us get away. Let us get away. The mob approaches.
How do you propose to get away?
Has fallen. The Bastille has fallen.
What say you? Speaks he the truth?
Hear you not?
Alvin wants to draw his sword.
Not that at once, or we are all lost.
And if you hasten, you will still be in time to see quite a merry sight. Oh, the head of our dear Delany stuck in a very high pole. Is the fellow mad?
Liberty, liberty.
We have cut off a dozen heads. The Bastille belongs to us. The prisoners are free. Paris belongs to the people.
Hear you! Hear you! Paris belongs to us.
See you how he gains courage now. Yes, shout away, Prosper. Not more can happen to you now.
What say you to it, you rabble? The joke is at an end.
Said I not so?
The people of Paris have conquered.
Silence! Silence! I forbid the continuance of this performance.
Who is that nincompoop?
Prosper, I regard you as responsible for all the seditious speeches.
Is the fellow mad?
The joke is at an end. Don't you understand? Henri, do tell them. Now you can tell them. We will protect you. The people of Paris will protect you.
Yay, the people of Paris.
Henri has really murdered the Duke of Carignan.
What?
Is he?
What says he?
Huh?
What means all this, Henri?
Henri, pray speak.
Found him with his wife and he has killed him.
It's not true.
You need fear not more now. Now you can shout it to all the world. But I've told you in our past that Sue was the Duke's mistress. By God, I was nigh telling you. Is it not true? You shrieking pumice stone, did we not know it?
Who has seen her? Where has she been seen?
What matters that to you now? The man's mad. You have killed him. Of a truth, you cannot do more.
In heaven's name, is it really true or not?
It is true.
Henri, from henceforth you must be my friend. Vive la liberté! Vive la liberté!
Henri, speak, man.
She was his mistress? She was the mistress of the Duke? I knew it not. He lives. He lives.
Well, where's the truth now?
Oh my God.
The Duke forces his way through the crowd on the steps.
The Duke?
The Duke!
The Duke! The Duke!
Well, what it is, it?
The ghost!
Not that I know of. Let me through.
What won't we wait till that it is all arranged? The fellows yonder belong to Prosper's troop. Bravo, Prosper. This is a real success.
What is it? Is the playing still going on here? While outside, don't you know? Then things are taking place outside. I have seen Delaney's head carried past on a pole. Why do you look at me like that? Henri?
Guard yourself from Henri.
Henry looks like a madman on the Duke, and there's a dagger into his...
He bleeds.
Oh, he bleeds.
A murder has been
Murder
done.
has been done here.
The Duke is dying.
I am distracted, dear Severine, to think that today of all days I should have brought you to this place.
Oh, why not? It is a wonderful success. One does not see a real Duke really murdered every day.
I cannot grasp it yet.
Silence! Let no one leave this place.
What does he want?
I arrest this man in the name of the law.
Ha 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 ha! It is we who make the laws, you blockheads. Out with the rabble! He who kills the Duke is a friend of the people. Vive la liberté!
Make way. Follow me, my friends.
Oh, his wife.
Oh, it's like-
Why?
His wife.
Let me in here. I want my husband. Oh, who has done this? Henri! Why have you done this?
Why?
I know why. Because of me. Nay, nay, say not 'twas because of me. Never in all my life have I been worth that.
Citizens of Paris, we will celebrate our victory. Chance has led us on our way through the streets of Paris to this amiable host. It could not have fitted in more prettily. Nowhere can the cry, Vive la liberté, ring sweeter than over the corpse of a duke.
Viva!
Hey!
Might go. The people have gone mad. Let us go.
Shall we leave the corpse here?
Vive la liberté! Vive la liberté!
Are you mad?
Vive la liberté!
La liberté!
Wait you tonight outside my window. I will throw the key down like the other night. We will pass a pretty hour. I feel quite pleasurably excited.
Vive la liberté! Vive la liberté!
Henri!
Look at the fellows, they're running away from us.
Oh, let them for tonight. Let them. They will not escape us.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry I didn't take this one because it's, I mean, the action is somewhat continuing. The action is continuing. So I just didn't, I'm sorry, I didn't feel a right place to stop. And but thank you so much for doing this. And I think it's good on Bastille Day to remember Viva la Liberté.
this is a really good play. I really like this play.
He's coming, Dave.
It's fun.
So as I
Liberté is
understand,
one thing and slaughtering people is another.
this
I like this
tavern
one.
is where the aristocrats go when they're slumming.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just so great. I mean, that there's as they usually put on this sort of show for it, and that everybody as the society is falling apart, you don't know where the illusion and the reality is. That even
Right.
Henri's
puts the-
performance is so
Fascinating.
convincing. It convinces Prosper that he's really done it, which then causes him to really do it. It's
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's like the opera Pagliacci, where the audience doesn't know if what's happening is for real or not, but it is for real.
Yeah.
Well, it mixes humor with tragedy, one thing from after the other, and all these oppositions we have: reality versus fantasy, love versus hate. It's really
I still have to remind myself to get better lighting. Forgive me. I just realized the lighting started out okay when the sun was still up, and I have 2 lamps on, but I'm pretty poorly lit, aren't I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you looked as if you had almost like you had blackface on you.
Ooh, I have a tan. Let me see.
Language like the Iceman Cometh. Did you notice that here and there? It reminded me of the Iceman Cometh by Eugene O'Neill. There are pieces of like people sitting around. They say.
that is interesting. I mean, because like, yeah, the Iceman Cometh is also entirely set in a tavern.
Right.
I wish we could have a reading of that, but you wouldn't want to.
See if that's any good.
When was it, Paul? When was it written?
That didn't do it.
1899.
Oh.
German.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of
Austrian.
so this was fun to do, and because it was on the day of on Bastille Day, I thought it was a fun thing to do. We'd done one reading once before. I think Jackie was part of it, and some other people that I wasn't even actually able to make it. But I'm glad that we were able to do it today. So,
I didn't expect to end up doing Severine. Who was supposed to be Severine? Or is that forgotten? No, yes.
there was confusion, and I apologize for not getting the additional parts to people sooner, or just sending them individually as I
That's
meant.
okay. I liked it. That was fun.
Yeah, Severine does have some fun things, and some of the doublings weren't.
Hey guys, how's that for next time?
What?
Still, the wall is lit, but your face is not.
I know.
Only a little bit of. Do you have enough?
You have to move over.
2 lamps on each side.
Are there just I'd like to thank you all for coming. I thank all of the attendees. I made you panelists now, so if you have anything, you can turn on your camera and unmute yourself if you want, or if you have anything to say or any questions about it, or if anybody else has first, before we get into talking about Zoom and lighting things, if anybody has any sort of other general comments about the play.
I love the play. It's great fun. You know?
Was he writing a little before Pirandello? Because it reminds me of Pirandello's 6 characters in search of an author. You know, there's this blend of fantasy and reality. Might have also been the days, that the times that fostered that idea. Yeah.
Truth or illusion, George? You don't know the
Would
difference.
be nice. A little bit of costume. You know,
These actors.
Nice play.
I think it was interesting that the highbrows, the aristocrats, they were drawn into it. They thought it was, I mean, especially, I mean, it's bravo, bravo, and you know, all hell is breaking loose, and they just don't see it.
Well, who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? The line, truth or illusion, George? You don't know the difference?
No.
Definitely influenced by this play.
And these actors are improvising. They're improvising a play, but it doesn't seem to have any continuity. It's like they're improvising sketches.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what I think they do, is each of them's got their own little bits that they do, and they take their time to do it. And so then when you get Grain, who actually has this story, and he's just like in one line, I killed her. You know, it's sort of like, come on, you got to be able to tell, and that it's almost like that the actors are able to tell the story, like Henri is able to be so convincing about a murder that didn't happen because he has the sort of intention in the acting of it, whereas Grain, who had actually murdered somebody, can't sort of portray that reality with the same sort of strength that the illusion that Henri is able to do.
Right. Right.
What did I do? Was I okay? Was I convincing?
Fine. Yeah, it's also their whole cast is off with what's going on outside tonight. And
Fascinating play.
people coming in, they're tearing down the Bastille, and I think everybody is like very, very uptight. It's like this place is like a sanction for them with what's going on out there, but nobody knows who's going to pour in and take them away.
I did research on the play, which was very little, but as far as the subject matter, did things like that, did they actually have houses that did performance art like that in those days? I'm curious because I know they did in 1930s Berlin. I'm wondering, before the French Revolution, did they have anything going on in theaters that were actually like something like this? Is it based on any kind of truth?
They probably did. A lot of writers have written things that take like that. I bet they did. I guess you'd have to look at it.
Really?
Well, I would think so too, only because to create a revolution usually happens first through artists and political people who are also artists,
Well,
And also the talent
that they perform in Hamlet, don't they perform? Yeah, they were conscious of things like that, I would think.
Does anyone know why Skyvola was named that?
What?
I don't know. I mean, I think there are a lot of them where they was just the members of the company coming up with actors. Maybe that he's like supposed to be the Italian actor or something. Maybe that's what it's supposed to suggest.
Probably.
No, I'm not a real student of the play. I just like it, so I don't. But yeah, it is an interesting question. But it's also, in a way, it's like people are going into this bar and it's dinner theater.
Yes.
Where does the title come into it? The Green Cockatoo.
The Green Cockatoo is the name of the tavern.
Bertolt Brecht does that too. He has all those fees and everything, enacting things in taverns to some degree. You can already see that they're playing for the public.
Well, like in the Threepenny Opera, with the whole thing with Peachum instructing the guy who's a beggar how to be a better beggar, and which is really sort of the performative aspect of these things. That we know the lords are the lords because they have the nice clothes and they behave like the lords. And we know the lower classes are the lower classes because of how they behave, and so, but that those lines can be crossed in ways.
They had two actors who were dressed in lords' costumes.
Yes, they did. They make that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Milt, you want to say something? You need to unmute yourself. I think you're muted right now, Milt. Milt, can you unmute yourself?
Who?
Milton Polsky is here. He just tried to but he was one of our audience. We thank you very much to our audience for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Okay. Take care.
I'm glad to see Lou is here. Excuse me.
Yep, and William and Milton and Lulu for coming very much. Okay, I guess I'm going to stop the live stream of this.